Was it the greatest Money in the Bank of all time? Let's discuss and go over the pay-per-view right now in this official review. Was it the greatest Money in the Bank of all time? Of course not. Of course not. How can it be greatest of all time before the first fucking bell and the first introduction was even made on tonight's show? Do you know how stupid WWE is? You can't go on TV, live television, and state something so idiotic. That's like me sitting down at a restaurant and saying this is the greatest food and the greatest restaurant I've ever been at, and I haven't even seen my waiter seat us yet. That's like me fucking getting ready for a blind date, and you're getting all excited, getting ready to get laid and possibly get laid. It's going to be the greatest sex of my entire life. I'm going to take her home. I'm going to make a great impression. It's going to be great. And then you hear this. Then you hear that. And you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what she looks like. She opens the fucking door, and she's got a fucking chicken bone in her hand, sucking that shit dry, and she's fucking 600 pounds of nothing but fat. She looks like she could be at the fucking, at the aquarium sitting next to Shamu. Seriously, you don't know about anything being the greatest of all time unless it concludes. When it's over, when the screen goes to black, when the bell rings, when the final person leaves that arena and you hear nothing but silence, then you can say, you know what? This was the greatest of all time. It was not. You had the 2011 Money in the Bank with CM Punk and John Cena to pretty much measure up to this pay-per-view. That's been the measuring stick for Money in the Bank. Nothing that the WWE has done at Money in the Bank has even come close to CM Punk and John Cena. You can't take what CM Punk did in Vegas with the pipe bomb and then have him just fucking destroy the WWE with that fucking message he sent to everybody. Vince, Stephanie, Triple H, the Goons in corporate, John Cena, The Rock. You can't take what he did there and compare it to this. It's not possible. It is not possible. They took something golden that was a once-in-a-lifetime moment with CM Punk, and WWE is pretty much, you forget that. Forget that. This is the greatest of all time before the fucking show even started. It's illogical, it's stupid, it's retarded, and it's just plain cheesy on WWE's behalf. Before the fucking show even started, and I didn't watch the pre-show because I wasn't keeping count, and I was doing something a little bit more important than fucking watching the pre-show because I didn't give a shit about anything on that pre-show for a half an hour. But before the show even started at 8 o'clock, I'm assuming they sent it. They said it 3 or 4 times, and then when the show started, twice within the first 4 minutes. It's not possible, and it's just corporate marketing garbage. You can't do it. So that was my first fucking problem. But all in all, tonight's show, Money in the Bank 2016, was it a good show? Yes. It was not great by any stretch of the imagination. It was not great. If you thought this was a great wrestling show, there's something fucking wrong with you. It was good. It was good. And I'm going to lay out my rating right now, 6.5 out of 10. Money in the Bank 2016. The matches that were hyped, the matches that were built, the matches that pretty much WWE promoted for this pay-per-view, they delivered for the most part. Were they the greatest of all time? Absolutely not. Did they get the job done? Yes. Everybody worked their ass off tonight. I'm very happy and very proud of everybody tonight in the WWE for putting on a very, very good show. It did create hype. WWE really took a good first step for this new era initiative, and they certainly make the upcoming draft a lot more interesting with the outcome of tonight's pay-per-view. A lot of people are asking me already on Twitter. My phone is blowing up. My fucking Twitter is blowing up. I don't know how many Twitter impressions I had all night, but you guys were fucking on fire. JD, why did Dean Ambrose win the WWE Championship tonight? Why did he win the Money in the Bank and cash in on Seth Rollins? 2 things that I want to go over for the start of this review. Number 1, They wanted to recreate what they did with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31 with Dean Ambrose at Money in the Bank 2016. Number 2, if Dean Ambrose or anybody in that match, that ladder match, won the Money in the Bank, the WWE was going to have the draft and the brand split looming over anybody's head. Whoever was Mr. Money in the Bank, that fucking situation would be looming over their head. You don't know where he's going to go, what brand he's going to go to. So the reason why Dean Ambrose won Money in the Bank tonight, and the reason why he cashed in on Seth Rollins, who defeated Roman Reigns clean, there was some fucking bullshit in the match that I will get to in a second, but he did win clean. There was no outside interference. There was nothing from the outside that happened in this match. It was strictly Rollins and Reigns, okay? The reason why Dean Ambrose won the WWE Championship tonight and cashed in is because of the WWE draft and the brand split. WWE did not want this being held over anybody's head going into the draft. They wanted to get rid of it. They wanted to make a statement tonight, and they figured, let's do it, let's give it to him, let's end it and have him cash in right now instead of waiting 12 months. And the Money in the Bank itself is not going to be as important if there's a brand split. Because if Dean Ambrose goes to SmackDown or if Dean Ambrose goes to Raw, whichever the case may be, if he went to Raw, it would have been okay. But if he did get drafted to SmackDown and he cashed in, he would be cashing in on the SmackDown World Championship, you know, if WWE does institute a championship belt for the blue brand. So the Money in the Bank, by default, would lose luster, it would lose its appeal, and Dean Ambrose would be pretty much delegated to only cashing in for the SmackDown World title. So they had him do it tonight before the brand split happens and before the draft, and they cashed in on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and they gave him the WWE Championship. It keeps the Money in the Bank intact, and next year when WWE, if they do introduce another title, they can have a Money in the Bank for both SmackDown and Monday Night Raw, keeping the Money in the Bank appeal intact, because now, instead of it being on SmackDown, if he does get drafted and he's delegated to, you know, pretty much cash in on that title, they will have now 2 Money in the Banks next year, and you'll have one for SmackDown and one for Raw, and Money in the Bank briefcase, and Mr. Money in the Bank can keep its appeal, and it wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't feel shitty, you know? So that's the reason why that they did it. That's the one thing that I came to as far as this decision for WWE. Do I mind Dean Ambrose as the WWE Champion? Of course not. I'm going to be honest with you. I was going with Kevin Owens. I was going with Kevin Owens as Mr. Money in the Bank because I thought Kevin Owens, being that it was Father's Day, number one, and number two, the fact that he's worked his ass off and pretty much has the crowd behind him, and he's got the fan support, and he's worked his ass off and pretty much deserves to move to that next level. I thought they were going to give him Money in the Bank, but I knew for a little bit that WWE was kind of contemplating what to do here. You know, the bookies in Vegas had Kevin Owens winning, and everybody was choosing Kevin Owens to win because he's the fan favorite. Everybody was like, yeah, Dean Ambrose is a possibility because he's always a possibility. You know, Dean Ambrose has always been teetering back and forth and everything. He's always been on the cusp of the main event. He's always been mediocre. He's never got that push to be superstar status yet. Tonight, they finally did push him to that next level, and now Dean Ambrose is the fucking face of the company as the WWE Champion. Ambrose wins Money in the Bank. He cashes in on Seth Rollins, who defeated Roman Reigns tonight in the WWE Championship match. And we have what I've been expecting, what I've been booking for the last 7-8 months now. And you guys know, if you've been watching me, I've been booking this scenario ever since before the Survivor Series. I stated that Dean Ambrose should have been the one to take Daniel Bryan's place as the one to go against the Authority while turning Roman Reigns heel and turning him into the role and giving him the role that he is made for as a heel, as a bad guy. With Dean Ambrose getting screwed over by the Authority and fighting his way through the Rumble and on to WrestleMania to eventually win the WWE Championship, which will eventually lead to a triple threat match with all 3 guys of the Shield, Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose. Now WWE finally pulls the trigger, gives Dean Ambrose the WWE Championship after him attempting to get the title before WrestleMania in battles with Triple H. He failed in that attempt, and now WWE finally pulled the trigger on giving Dean Ambrose the WWE Championship. Some are saying that Dean Ambrose did not need the Money in the Bank to pretty much facilitate a Shield triple threat match, but him cashing in tonight certainly changes everybody's opinion on that. Yeah, he won it, and everybody's opinion of him being Mr. Money in the Bank this year was kind of 50-50. Now that he cashed in, and I gave you the explanation as to why he cashed in and why WWE pulled the trigger, now that he's the WWE champion, Rollins and Reigns now both have a case as to why they should be WWE champion. Rollins, the typical heel, is going to be, you fucked me over like I fucked over Roman at WrestleMania 31. I was the champion. I was royally screwed. This Money in the Bank contract cash-in is bullshit. I want my fucking rematch. I want my rematch for the title. Reigns, he can clearly come out and say and simply state, listen, I have a rematch clause. I'm getting mine anyway. So you're going to involve all three. They're going to build some intrigue leading to SummerSlam. And there's no doubt in my mind right now that this is going to be the main event for SummerSlam. I was hoping WWE would hold something like this off until WrestleMania, but they might have bigger plans involved for WrestleMania. SummerSlam, they want to make the WrestleMania of the summer. It's WrestleMania and then SummerSlam right below it. They want to make SummerSlam literally as big as WrestleMania. It's going to 4 hours. It's going to need a massive main event, and all three of those guys in the main event for the WWE Championship in New York, in Brooklyn, at the Barclays Center is going to tear the fucking house down. I like this decision. Whether Ambrose holds it for the remainder of the summer up until SummerSlam where Rollins gets it back, I don't care. I don't care. I like this decision, and I'm sticking with that's the reason why WWE had Ambrose cash in. It's all because of the upcoming brand split. They're all going to be on the same brand. You're going to have Cena and Styles on SmackDown, probably Owens and Zayn. You're going to have, on Monday Night Raw, representing them, you're going to have Ambrose, Reigns, and Rollins. There's no doubt in my mind that's the way it's going to go. And that's the reason why they had Dean Ambrose cash in tonight. SummerSlam, triple threat. Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose for the WWE Championship. The ladder match itself tonight was probably the best match of the night. I was going with Cena and Styles, but there was things here and there that just seemed a little bit off to me. We'll discuss that in a second. The ladder match tonight, everybody worked their ass off. I don't like Del Rio and what he's become under the WWE banner. I think he worked his fucking ass off. He probably looked best out of everybody in that match tonight. He was fit for that match. His role was very, very well played. And Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, they all played their part in that match. It was very, very well done. It wasn't too much. I'm glad that they stuck to the 6 men instead of adding a 7th. The more men that you add, the more chaotic the match is, and the more of a clusterfuck it turns out to be. Still, there was high spots where most of the guys were laying on the outside and, pretty much taking a breather while the guys in the ring did their things, and then those guys in the ring pretty much exited the ring, and the guys on the outside went in and did their thing. It's the typical ladder match. I'm not going to bitch and moan about it. It was probably the match of the night. If not, it was the match of the night. And Dean Ambrose ended up winning that match. And I was shocked. I was legit shocked that the WWE went with Dean Ambrose here. I thought they were going to give it to Kevin Owens. They made Sami Zayn look very... They made Sami Zayn look strong. And they made people... At one point in the match, they made people feel sorry for Sami Zayn because there was one instance in which the ladder was in the middle of the ring leading up to the briefcase, and then there was 2 ladders corresponding on the sides that were set up by Del Rio and Cesaro, respectively. And it was pretty much like, it's like everybody was walking a tightrope and climbing the ladder, and it was just a big battle in the middle of the ring of all 6 guys at the same time, fighting for control of the briefcase and fighting for control of the ladder. Cesaro set up another ladder in the middle of the ring and pretty much took the express route, according to Byron Saxton, to the ladder while everybody, or to the briefcase, up the ladder while everybody was fighting on the main ladder that was set up in the middle of the ring. And Sami Zayn was on top of this ladder for legit about 7-8 minutes. People were feeling sympathetic for him. I was feeling sorry for him. Every time he went for a briefcase, every time he went for a grab, there'd be somebody there to stop him. And eventually Kevin Owens pulled him down after a nice 7-8 minute stint on top of the ladder and just power bombed him in the middle of the ring, man. So you kind of felt sorry. You kind of felt, sad for Sami Zayn that he was on the ladder for so long and he didn't grab the briefcase. And in the end, Kevin Owens pulled him down, and after that, Dean Ambrose eventually was crowned Mr. Money in the Bank 2016. I thought it would be a little bit more crazy. There was some very, very dangerous spots. There was a Michinoku driver on fucking Kevin Owens from Sami Zayn, and the ladder was inverted on its side, and the edge of the ladder was sticking up. Sami Zayn pretty much Michinoku drivered Kevin Owens on top of the ladder, and his back has to be in fucking pain after this show. Just picture the way Bray Wyatt does that backwards thing that he does. That's how Kevin Owens looked. fucking falling over the ladder after that Michinoku driver. It was brutal, and I even stated on Twitter, Kevin Owens is hurt after that match. All 6 men, kudos to them. That is not an easy match to plan. That is not an easy match to lay out. All 6 men did a great job. Definitely the match of the night. Dean Ambrose is crowned Mr. Money in the Bank. Probably the only match on the card tonight that I would go back and rewatch again, because all 6 men did a fantastic job in that match. John Cena versus AJ Styles was the other big match. This match had a lot of hype going into it. We poked fun at WWE, stating that this is 15 years in the making. Dave Meltzer pretty much debunked WWE's hype and their fucking bullshit marketing and their hype on Monday Night Raw, stating that maybe if it was 10 years in the making, it would have made a little bit more sense. But 15 years in the making, John Cena and AJ Styles were not even in the sights of WWE at all. They were both wrestling in the independents. They were both doing their thing. They didn't even know of each other. WWE didn't even know of John Cena and AJ Styles. So 15 years in the making really doesn't make any sense. 10 years in the making, yeah, it's a little bit more easier to swallow. But regardless of that, WWE did a very, very good job building this match. They hyped up the match on Monday Night Raw with great in-ring segments from both AJ Styles and John Cena. AJ Styles pretty much saying that he's the best wrestler in the world. He's stating to John Cena, you know, guys like me get buried by guys like you. John Cena wants a one-on-one match. You know, pretty much typical of his character. He doesn't want any outside interference. They both signed the contract on this current week's Monday Night Raw, or this past week's Monday Night Raw, where there would be no outside interference. AJ Styles legit signed a contract that there would be no interference from the club in this match. We get to tonight. People are going crazy. The atmosphere in the arena and the environment that WWE set, it certainly did have a big match feel. It had a big match feel. The crowd was going crazy. Let's go Cena, AJ Styles. The crowd was going legit fucking batshit crazy. It was a great atmosphere. It certainly had that big fight feel. But when it came down to the legit match, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was a bad match, because it was not. John Cena, certainly after 7 months, had ring rust. I don't know if John Cena has been wrestling on the tour of WWE that they've been doing. I'm not sure if he's been wrestling at house shows or live events that are not televised. But tonight, John Cena looked like he had a lot of ring rust. This is going to go away, and I do not fault John Cena for this. I will never fault John Cena for looking rusty in the ring after being away for 7-8 months. You cannot blame him for that. AJ Styles, luckily, he was in the ring with someone that could carry the match very well, and that's exactly what AJ Styles did. AJ Styles looked good. AJ Styles looked good winning this match. The only thing I do not like about this match is that, and you guys were complaining about John Cena calling the spots of the match and that they were very loud. He had to be loud. And I said this on Twitter, you know, I'm not going to complain about that, and I never complain about the wrestlers calling spots. I'd rather them call the spots correctly than something going wrong and getting fucked up and someone gets hurt, okay? So something to me like that is not the biggest deal in the world. They had to be loud to call spots, or at least he had to be, because the fucking arena was going unbelievably crazy. I guarantee you, what you seen on television was great. Imagine being physically there live. It's probably even louder live. So can you imagine what the WWE superstars in the ring are having to deal with so much fucking noise in the environment? You know, Cena had to be loud and make sure that Styles heard him calling the right spots so they knew what to do next. I will never fault the wrestlers for doing that, and that's a very, very minor issue that you guys picked up on, especially tweeting me on Twitter. I knew why, and I had a very, very good reasoning as to why that was happening. The only thing I don't like about this match is the way that it was, I would say, paced. And I'm not going to blame John Cena for that, because it's 7 years of ring rust, 7 months of ring rust. I'm not going to blame him for that. I think what they did tonight is pretty much move this feud along. The second match is going to be a lot better. You know, everybody was quick to judge this match and compare it to the Kevin Owens match. Yes, the Kevin Owens match from last year, the first match that he had with John Cena, was fucking unbelievable. The one at Elimination Chamber. It was unbelievable. Yes, the first match between those guys was better than the first match that we seen tonight between Styles and Cena. Okay? That is a fact. The second match that these guys have, I'm assuming at Battleground, for whatever type of stipulation that's going to be due to the outside interference that we seen tonight, I think it's going to be better. Cena will be in a couple of matches from here on out leading to that pay-per-view. We got 5 weeks until Washington, D.C. at Battleground, July 24th. And I think Cena is going to do a lot better in that second match. 7 months of ring rust is a long time, especially with someone who had the type of injury and the surgery that he had. So I will not blame John Cena for this match being on some and then off some. Luckily, he had AJ Styles to carry the match. You know, all in all, it was a decent match. I think the second match is going to be better. I do not like the outcome. I do not like the outcome of AJ Styles winning with outside interference. I understand John Cena is their number one guy, but, you know, John Cena losing clean, and I wish WWE would realize this, John Cena losing clean will do nothing to his image. It will do absolutely nothing to his image. Winning clean for AJ Styles over John Cena does so much in the grand scheme of things. Yes, he got to win. Yes, he got to win against the number one guy on pay-per-view, but it came at a cost with outside interference. AJ Styles didn't need Gallows and Anderson to beat John Cena. WWE threw that in there pretty much because they didn't want John Cena to lose clean for whatever reason, because he's Superman. And he had to lose because of outside influence. That's the only thing I did not like. Yes, it does move this feud along. Yes, it continues it going. But if AJ Styles won clean, they could have got to the same they could have got to the same end point with the win clean as a result. You know, they could have got to the same fucking match, another match at Battleground with a clean win over John Cena. They didn't need outside interference. It rubs me wrong. It really does. It sullies the fucking victory. It dirties the victory up. And AJ Styles is so much better than that. He deserves so much more than that. You know, he's too good of a fucking athlete. He's been too good for the WWE since he's been there. A win over John Cena clean is the least that you can do for this guy. He's been in 3 big pay-per-view main event matches. He's lost to Roman Reigns and been made to look like an embarrassment. But you mean to tell me he can't he can't beat John Cena clean? It makes no sense to me. It really does. And the one thing that fucking blew my mind is that AJ Styles fucking did the Styles Clash to John Cena. Again, the Styles Clash gets fucking ruined and is made to look like just another move when it should not be made to look like another move. John Cena kicks out, right? But AJ Styles does the same fucking thing to Roman Reigns and loses by a spear. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't understand what WWE is trying to do here. I mean, even in the John Cena AJ Styles match, the things that they do and the things that we see and the moves that are being performed, it all goes back to Roman Reigns. And even when that was performed, I'm thinking, oh look, Roman Reigns looks even stronger now, you know, because AJ Styles kicks out of the fucking AA, but he can't kick out of a fucking spear. I don't get that. I really don't get that. And the fact that the Styles Clash was used, I mean, this should be a move that should level fucking champions and giants. It's a move you're not going to see by everybody in WWE. They were even thinking about fucking outlawing it in WWE. And they just pull it off, and it's just like a regular move. Oh, Cena kicks out of it. Roman Reigns kicks out of it. AJ Styles could kick out of John Cena's finishing move, but he can't kick out of Roman Reigns' finishing move. Do you see the fucking problem there? I mean, even in that match, I was saying, oh, look, Roman Reigns looks even stronger now. His spear looks so much better now that AJ Styles is kicking out of John Cena, Mr. Superman #1 finishing move. It makes no sense to me. And those are the fucking little things that bother me. It just bothers me about what WWE does and how WWE tries to get one over on everybody. You're not getting one over on me, man. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And I didn't like that victory at all for AJ Styles. I'm okay with it. I'm glad that he won. But he didn't need to win by outside interference. They should have made AJ Styles look stronger in the end. But we're going to get match number 2. I'm assuming John Cena is going to win match number 2. And like I said, if WWE is smart, they would plan a tournament for SmackDown, introduce a new world title, and at SummerSlam, we would get a world championship match for the SmackDown brand, AJ Styles versus John Cena, with AJ winning clean and becoming the new SmackDown World Heavyweight Champion. That's the way to go. I think that's the best idea. And hopefully WWE does that indeed. Now, with the rest of the card, the other big match that was kind of, advertised amongst the big 3 that were all over the place on WWE TV, we had the Tag Team Championship, and Enzo, Big Cass, Vaudevillains, The Club, and The New Day. I knew The New Day was going to win this. I knew this going in, and I knew The New Day was going to win as soon as Michael Cole opened up his fucking cancerous mouth. I fucking can't stand the announce team. All they did was state that the New Day is 301 days into the WWE Tag Team title reign. The only other team that they have to look forward to break the record is Paul London and Brian Kendrick. That's it. I'm assuming WWE is going to break that record. They're going to allow the New Day to break that record. And by the time SummerSlam gets here, they will have broken that record and will be the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions of all time. So I'm thinking, okay, they stated that New Day is going to break this record. They're going to win this match. And the stare down that pretty much Enzo and Cass and the New Day had here today, I'm thinking WWE is going to go. They're going to go through with this. Enzo and Cass versus the New Day is going to be the Tag Team Championship match at SummerSlam, and that's when the reign will end. I've been saying it for weeks. I've been saying it. Do not break this team up. Do not use the brand split as an excuse to get Vince McMahon's heart on even harder, because he's got a thing for Big Cass. These guys work together as a unit. They work better as a duo, as a team. You cannot break them up. And the fact that they're so fucking over, why would you do that and break this team up? Enzo and Cass versus the New Day at SummerSlam. It is going to happen, and Enzo and Cass will get their moment in New York, winning the championships and breaking the reign of the New Day. New Day win here. They beat the Vaudevillains, the Club, and Enzo and Cass. Kofi pinned Aiden English after a magic killer that was delivered to him just moments before, and they retain the Tag Team Championship. I normally do not like Fatal 4-Way matches like this. This one was okay. Every time Big E does that fucking dive outside the ropes, I swear to God, I think he's going to fucking break a limb. Jesus fucking Christ. The guy is unbelievable for his size. He moves so well. And there was even a fucking quick jab at the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks there. But they've been friendly feuding back and forth on Twitter. And I know that Omega and the Young Bucks know that the New Day want a match with them. I know the guys over in New Japan, they want a match with the New Day. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen somewhere down the line in the future in WWE, but I like that jab. New Day was on fire with the insults tonight, calling the Vaudevillains the Monopoly Men. I don't know whether to make fun of you or collect $200 before I pass go, and it pretty much was an entertaining match. I just don't like the idea of a Fatal 4-Way because I'm of the old school who likes 2 versus 2 for the tag team titles. This one was okay. It barely lasted 12 minutes, and it did the job to open up the pay-per-view on a very, very hot note. Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, this one went 12 minutes, and I'm surprised this actually went 12 minutes. I'm surprised this actually made the main show. But this match started off slow, and it really, really picked up pace towards the end. The one thing that I will say again, and I say this about Baron Corbin all the time, he needs to pick up the pace just a smidgen, man. He needs to pick up the pace just a smidgen. The crowd was chanting boring within the first 6 minutes of this match. He really didn't play up to the crowd like he usually does in NXT. It's like he got stage fright all of a sudden. Baron Corbin didn't play to the crowd, but he did pick up the pace in the match, and it did become a rather exciting match in the end, in which we seen Baron Corbin deliver the end of days, Brother Nero. The end of days to Baron Corbin. He beat Dolph Ziggler. I said it on Twitter. Some didn't agree with me. I don't give a shit. Some mostly agreed with me. Baron Corbin is great. I think he's going to do very, very well for himself in the WWE. He just needs to get to that next level. Dolph Ziggler hopefully pushed him to that next level. People will start taking him a little bit more seriously. He has everything in the tool bag to make this work. He's got a great entrance. He's got a great look. If he can hone his mic skills and work on his pacing in the ring, Baron Corbin will be great in the WWE. He also has to play to the crowd a little bit and feed off them a little bit more. He was doing that very well down in NXT. He hasn't been doing that as much in the WWE. I don't know why, but Baron Corbin beats Dolph Ziggler tonight. One thing, Mauro Ranallo would have made this match fucking 2 stars better than these fucking goons on Monday Night Raw. Cole, Byron Saxton, and JBL. I can't fucking stand them. The match that these guys had on the pre-show at Extreme Rules, Mauro Ranallo called it. He made that match feel like a fucking world championship match. These guys, I can't listen to these guys anymore, man. They got to get off my fucking TV, literally. But Baron Corbin wins with the end of days, 12 minutes and 24 seconds. Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Becky Lynch and Natalya. This match was a complete waste of time. It did absolutely nothing. The best thing about this match is that Becky Lynch and Natalya, they had something going on at the end of this match. Natalya apparently turned heel. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I'm looking at my phone, I'm tweeting, and all of a sudden I look up and fucking Natalya is like snapping, just literally unloading right hands on Becky Lynch. Another good thing about this match is that Dana Brooke actually wore ring gear similar to what she wore in NXT instead of that fucking lingerie bullshit that she was wearing coming out for the first couple weeks she debuted on Monday Night Raw. But in the end here, surprising ending. I thought Becky Lynch and Natalya were going to get one over in a tag team match. Being that Charlotte was on a team with Dana Brooke, she wasn't going to lose the title if she lost. I figured that Dana Brooke or Charlotte might take the pin here. I actually had Charlotte taking the pin and Becky getting the pinfall. But in the end, it was a natural selection to Natalya, which caused Natty to cry and then snap because of, I guess, frustration? I don't know. There was an instance in the match where Dana Brooke took Becky by the hair and shoved her into Natalya. Natalya fell down. That's what led to the natural selection. After the match, Natalya snapped. I don't know if she turned heel or not. It's going to be very interesting to see the type of reaction that Natalya gets and where they go from here. But it looks like WWE doesn't know what the fuck to do with the women in the division. I really don't know. I mean, before the bell even rang, the fucking crowd was chanting for Sasha Banks. That should be all you need to know, Vince, to get this woman on TV. Sasha Banks is needed to generate hype and interest and excitement in the women's division. When is it going to happen? Because right now, I don't know what you got going on here, but we're tired of seeing Natalya and we're tired of seeing Charlotte. Charlotte is getting boring as a women's champion, and it's Sasha Banks' time. I think a title change is needed at SummerSlam. Sheamus versus Apollo Cruz. This match went 8 minutes and 44 seconds. I don't have a problem with Sheamus. I really don't. I think he's very decent in the ring. Veteran versus newcomer. This gave Apollo Cruz something to sink those big white teeth into. It gave him reason. It gave him a feud. I felt like Apollo Cruz was the only one of the NXT alum promoted to not be in an important match and in a feud. Corbin was in a feud with fucking Dolph Ziggler. You had Sami Zayn in the ladder match for the Money in the Bank. And Apollo Cruz was pretty much nowhere to be found. To me, he's still unidentifiable. I mean, the guy, I don't know, I love him for what he does in the ring, man. He's absolutely a pleasure to watch in the ring. But what is he about? What character is he? What is he supposed to be? That's my problem with Apollo Cruz. What is he supposed to be? I mean, he can do everything he wants in the fucking ring. The guy could be fucking world champion with the ring skill he's got. But what is he supposed to be? Who is Apollo Cruz? And WWE's main priority right now, I'm glad they gave him a win tonight. Roll up, Sheamus frustrated. He delivered a great move. He delivered, I believe it was a white noise off the second turnbuckle, and I thought that was it. And then before you know it was a roll up, 1, 2, 3, Apollo Cruz picks up what I think is an upset over Sheamus. And I think this feud is going to continue on into Battleground here. Apollo Cruz, who is he? That is what WWE needs to do. That is their main priority. Who is Apollo Cruz? Why should we care about Apollo Cruz? Everybody says this guy has the tools to be one of the biggest superstars in the company. But how is WWE going to show us that he is capable of that if we don't know who he is? To me, the one thing here, I love that he won. I love both guys in the ring. Sheamus kind of has a direction with the grizzly veteran being frustrated with the new guys coming in. Apollo Cruz finally has someone decent to work with. But their main thing is he is still unidentifiable. They need to give this guy a character and a gimmick and really relay that to the audience so that we care. And if they don't do that, the longer they drag this out, the longer, it goes, the more we're not going to care about Apollo Cruz. And he does not deserve that at all. He wins tonight. Decent match, 8 minutes and 44 seconds with a roll-up on Sheamus. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. I know we talked about Dean Ambrose winning the world title with the cash-in. This match went 26 minutes. Pedigrees, Superman punches. Roman Reigns went through the fucking timekeeper's table in the timekeeper's area. The one thing I will say about this, rumors about WWE going past the 11 o'clock hour are true. This match started at 10:54 Eastern Standard Time, did not end until closer to 11:30. So WWE and the rumor about WWE going past the 11 o'clock hour, obviously that was true tonight, and SummerSlam is going to be 4 hours long. The one thing I did not like about this match, okay, and I'm not going to blame it on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was deserving of a rematch. I'm surprised WWE gave him a rematch right out of the gate after coming back from injury and giving him clearance to wrestle. Seth Rollins was very, very careful about what happened in this match. everything that he did, every move that he executed, you've seen that Seth Rollins was very hesitant. Okay, he's been wrestling on the house shows, he's been wrestling at the live shows that are not televised, but being in front of an audience that is that rowdy, that is that hot, in that big type of situation, Rollins was a little bit nervous. There was moments of fear, there was moments of him being very, very extra careful in what he did. And I do not blame him at all for that, because if you're coming back from the injury that he had so soon, well ahead of time, he should have been out till well past SummerSlam. He's back in June at Money in the Bank. He was being very careful, which slowed the match down, and we were not used to Seth Rollins wrestling that type of match. We're not used to seeing a Seth Rollins match like that. Roman Reigns is not a leader. Okay, and people come at me and they attack me. Oh, what's wrong with Roman Reigns now? All you're doing is complaining. Roman Reigns is wrestling a good match. I don't give a shit how good of a match Roman Reigns is wrestling. Roman Reigns is not a ring general. He's not a leader. If Seth Rollins is not giving you 100% of himself because he's wary of the injury that he suffered and he's being careful not to fucking make a mistake, being that it's his first match back after a fucking long time away from the ring, Roman Reigns is not going to lead him. Roman Reigns is not going to lead Seth Rollins into a good match. Typically, when Rollins is 100% okay and Rollins is 100% right in what he can do in the ring, and he doesn't have the image in the back of his mind about how he tore his ACL against fucking Kane in Dublin, Ireland, Rollins is usually the one leading the match. And typically the match always ends up better because of someone like Rollins leading. Reigns can't lead. Reigns is sluggish in the ring. Reigns is slow. Reigns is not going to fucking guide Rollins to a fucking 5-star match. It's usually going to be the other way around. What happened with AJ Styles and Roman Reigns? Those matches weren't great because of Roman Reigns. Yeah, he excelled in certain parts of the match, in certain situations, but he was better because he was in the ring with someone who was fucking top tier. Someone who knows how to lead. Someone who knows how to be a ring general. Someone who knows how to bring someone like Roman Reigns to a 5-star match. That's the fucking idea behind that. That's the real reason. That's the facts. If you guys don't understand that, and you don't understand what you're watching on television, then maybe you should go watch something else. Because that's exactly what I see on television. Not saying that it was a bad match. I'm saying that it's not the match that we expected going into this. It could have been so much better. And hopefully, as the months and the weeks go on, Rollins' fear and his paranoia about possibly getting hurt again in the same area with the same injury will diminish, and he'll lead Roman Reigns to a match that we know he can have. And that's why I like this triple threat match. It's not going to be all on Rollins. It's not going to be all on an Ambrose. It's not going to be all on a Reigns. These guys are very familiar with each other, and all three of those guys in the ring fighting for the World Championship, going to be a great match, and all three of those guys are going to complement each other very, very well. Rollins wins the title with a pedigree, 26 minutes and 4 seconds. He beats Roman Reigns clean, which I was completely shocked by. So I don't know where that came from. I was shocked at that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, are we going to hear it? Are we going to hear it? Dean Ambrose music hits. Dean Ambrose comes out from behind. Rollins is looking at the entrance. He comes from behind, bashes Rollins over the fucking back of the head with the briefcase, cashes in, gives the fucking briefcase to Mike Chioda. You got the ring announcer saying, is this really happening? Are we going to have a cash-in? Lillian Garcia's like fucking confused. She's like, yes, we're going to have a cash-in. Rollins gets one DDT, one Dirty Deeds DDT, and that is it. 1, 2, 3, and we have a new world champion. Dean Ambrose is leading the charge in the new era now, before the brand split, and he is crowned the new WWE champion. WWE wanted to go big off the air. They wanted to leave you hanging for Monday Night Raw. They certainly did that. It's going to be an unexpected, unpredictable Monday Night Raw with Ambrose. We don't know what's going to happen at Battleground. It's going to be a very, very exciting time, whether we agree with it or not. I will say this. It's going to be a very exciting time for the WWE because Ambrose is the WWE champion. They took the belt off Roman Reigns. For whatever reason, hopefully that news is leaked in the coming days. Why they took the belt off Roman Reigns. Why they ended this reign prematurely. Because I'm assuming they had thoughts and the mindset of Roman Reigns having the title all through the summer. Probably for the rest of the fucking year. Ambrose is the world champion. Hopefully that news is leaked in the coming days for the reason why. But with the draft and the brand split coming up, I might not agree with everything that WWE is planning with the draft, but right now it is very, very exciting to be a WWE fan. There's going to be loads of news, there's going to be loads of rumors, there's going to be loads of possibility, more shows, more content for you guys, and it's just going to be great, man. SmackDown going live, we got just a ton of possibilities. Whether I agree with it or not, It's going to be exciting, and I can't wait for the ride. And I'm going to be here with you guys, giving you all the best content that I can. That is my Money in the Bank review and results, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, hit that thumbs up. We are on our way to 54,000 subscribers. If we can get 2,000 thumbs up on this video, I would greatly appreciate that. Everything that you guys might have missed is in the description down below and on the screen with an annotation. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, and if you enjoyed what you hear, hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at JD206. Get your t-shirts just like this one, man. Barbershopwindow.com. Link is down below. And hopefully you guys entered the Wrestle Rumble. Those will be announced before Monday Night Raw. The winners of the Money in the Bank pick'em for WrestleRumble.com. And as always, support the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/JD206. I'm out. I'm going to sleep. And I will see you guys for Monday Night Raw review. Until then, I'm JD. And I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw. Take care.